Good morning from the City Learning Centre. As part of a recent restructuring, Gateshead Primary Care Trust now shares a management team with South Tyneside Primary Care Trust and Sunderland Teaching Primary Care Trust. Collectively, the three PCTs are now known as NHS South of Tyne and Wear. In order to keep a locality focus, 3 locality directors of public health have been appointed, covering Gateshead, South Tyneside and Sunderland. These are joint appointments with the 3 local councils. Alyson has been appointed into the post of Locality Director of Public Health for Gateshead. Tom Hall speaks with Alyson this morning about her new role.
Good morning, Alyson. Hello. Now, I'm going to ask Alyson a series of questions, and at the end of the interview, we will give you the chance to be able to blog questions to Alyson as part of this special broadcast. Now, morning, Alyson. What's your first impressions of Gateshead?
It's been great, very warm and friendly. People have been very welcoming.
Excellent.
There's a huge amount going on, a very busy place, and very diverse within such a small patch. All sorts of different landscape, different people. So I think I'm really going to enjoy working here.
Excellent. Now, the role of Director of Public Health, a few of our listeners or viewers may not understand exactly what the role of a Director of Public Health does. So could you give us a bit of an insight into what that might be?
The role's a joint role, and this is a first with this post, is that it's jointly between the NHS and the local authority. Having said that, independence is very central to the role of a Director of Public Health. The idea is that somebody has a chance to look at health needs locally and be an advocate, particularly in relation to dangers or risks we can see affecting people's health. So that's an important part of the role. Mm-hmm. Partnership is crucial, and one of the particular things about the joint role is that I embark on that partnership work with the local authority, but also with business and the voluntary sector. And then the bit that possibly pops into people's heads first when we say public health is the health protection bit, and that covers a huge range from relatively simple things like immunisation and vaccination, screening programmes, through what to do in an emergency if there's public health implications, the emergency planning side of things. So those are the 3 elements.
Right, pretty diverse then.
The job description takes 5 pages.
Excellent. So what do you think, say in your first year, what do you think your main priorities are going to be then?
The chance to come to Gateshead now at the time when the 2030 vision has been launched, and we're just beginning to think about how to start to really move forward, is very exciting because health is one of the big themes. Mm-hmm. So one priority is to make sure that time for long-term thinking is used well. As well as that, we need to build and consolidate on what I know is excellent work already in place. And if I had to pick 2 priorities, I would say getting people more physically active is one of them, and persevering with the efforts to help people stop smoking, and to do everything we can to have as much smoke-free space throughout Gateshead is the second. Both of them are absolutely crucial, and both of them will help everybody in the population, including some of our most deprived groups. So that's the second priority. And thirdly, work with primary care is absolutely essential. I know there has been publicity given to the big gaps in life expectancy experienced within Gateshead, as well as between Gateshead and the rest of England. And whilst our longer term strategies are the answer to that over a period of time, to start to make an impact more quickly, we need to work with primary care and start finding people who are at a high risk and working actively with those people and with primary care and all the people in the practices to start to ameliorate, to bring down the risk level, and to help people at the point before they become ill or experience symptoms. We can actually do quite a lot to reduce their risks.
Excellent. So there's plenty to keep you busy then. You talked a bit earlier about how your post is split between the council and the primary care trust. There's lots of organisations out there that are working towards health, good health within Gateshead. How do you think we can sort of work together with those other agencies, and how important do you feel that is?
It's absolutely vital, because what we're talking about is a change in culture. I know some of the work that's gone on in Gateshead before I came is to do with every contact, a health improvement contact. And actually, I'd like to make that broader than that. Every contact, whether we're thinking just NHS or really across the whole spectrum, should have that idea in mind. Is this decision, is this action, is this service doing everything it can to improve health? And I think it's only by tapping into the wider resources of the community that we're going to make a big enough difference to get the step change that we want.
Fantastic. In a recent survey, the people of Gateshead were asked what was their favourite place in Gateshead, what was most significant and pertinent to them. Is there anywhere in Gateshead that you feel is significant or pertinent to you?
Well, I've always enjoyed visiting the Angel. I know it's a big symbol for Gateshead, but when I go there, I like to look at the board that explains how it's being put up, and it always fascinates me how much has had to go underneath the ground to hold it up. And when you stand underneath and look up and just see how huge it is, what a feat of engineering it is, as well as something that's a huge landmark and a work of art. Yeah,
there's a lot more under there than you expect, isn't there? Excellent. So, yeah. One of the key public health priorities, as most people know, is having to eat 5 portions of fruit and vegetable a day to benefit your health. What's your top tip for eating 5 a day? Do you have one? Or?
The top tip is you have to find things you like eating.
It's always a start, isn't it?
And for me, I rush around a lot, and I think bananas are a perfect fast food.
Yeah.
So a banana, an apple and a tomato is 3. And then perhaps
top it up with
a fruit juice.
Yes,
and
of course.
You only then need 1 vegetable with tea, and you've cracked it.
Yeah. You can work it in easier than you expect, can't you? Yeah, definitely.
That's my own recipe.
And of course, banana's a good energy source as well when you're on your bike.
Yes.
Well, like I say, I can't help but notice that you ride to work on a folding bicycle. Should we be encouraging more people to choose a more active form of transport, and how do you think that would benefit the population as well if we were more physically active in transport?
Yes, well, the evidence is that if we can build physical activity into people's daily routine, then that makes a big difference.
Yeah.
Because it's not having to stop what you're doing, go to the sports centre, do it, come back. So finding lots of different ways, not necessarily that particular one, but lots of different ways to build physical activity into going to work, coming home, going to school, whatever your life pattern is absolutely the way forward.
Excellent. Of course, you have to contend with bench and bank on the way home. That must be a bit of a killer.
Yes, I haven't quite managed to get over it yet, but hopefully in a couple of months' time. Yes.
Excellent. A law coming in on the 1st of July this year, as most people have found out through the media, is coming in around the smoking legislation and banning smoking in public places and workplaces. How do you think this will be implemented in Gateshead, and what do you think the benefits will be?
I think this will build on work that has been going on for a long time in Gateshead. And I think the strength of the legislative process will help to endorse and really bring that home to people. I know there has been various comments on radio chat-in shows and so on. I think we have to say that the evidence, we are following evidence from America on this one. The evidence is that more smoke-free public space does help young people not to start smoking. It's a tremendous help to people who are quitting, because it avoids stimulating them to pick it up again. And it has an immediate impact on deaths to an extent that wasn't predicted. So I can only say that from all those 3 points of view, the ban will help to improve health. And out of those 3, I think the stopping people starting has to be the one that's closest to my heart, and one where we really need to continue to try hard to avoid recruiting young people to become the smokers of tomorrow.
Excellent. So there's been a lot of talk recently about listening to people's views, and for example, we'll be listening to the views of the people of Gateshead. How important do you feel this is in determining health services and health policy?
again, next to the partnership, it's absolutely crucial because from outside as professionals, we can't tell people how to improve their health. The only way people improve their health is by saying, this is my health, it's my life, and I'm going to do it this way. So we desperately need people's engagement, and I think some of the ways, such as this interview in a way, of saying to people, well, we'd like to hear from you and what your views are about how health can be improved, are absolutely the way forward. The more diverse ways we can do that, the better. And I don't think there's a single answer to this. It has to be diverse, and we have to start catching the views of people when they're going to playgroup or when they're going to a residents' association meeting. Or it's back to it's not realistic for people to come out and tell us at some special meeting how to improve health. It's more we need to raise the stakes of the debate and then be very responsive to what people tell us, again, in the course of their daily lives.
Excellent. Well, due to the marvellous technology that we've got here at the City Learning Centre, we're able to play some music tracks at the end. Is there any sort of particular music that's close to your heart? What's in your CD player at the moment?
Yeah, difficult, isn't it? Because the music you listen to does change quite a lot. But I did recently enjoy the Walk the Line film. One of the Johnny Cash songs from that was the one he did from San Quentin. And I think that's such an interesting example because he gave a voice to a particularly neglected and isolated group, and found that, yes, they absolutely did have something to say. So I thought I'd mention that one.
Excellent. Is that the track you'd like to play out to?
Yes.
Brilliant. Well, we're going to play out to Johnny Cash then. But before we do that, just to let you know, we are setting up a weblog where you can ask Alyson some questions and we'll post the responses up. I'm sure you'll be happy to do that. And so we'll set up the blog, and if you like to go on and click on comments, then send Alyson a question. Goodbye for now.
I keep a close watch on this heart of mine. I keep my eyes wide open all the time. I keep the ends out for the tie that binds. Because you're mine, I walk the line.